Here's Justin Fields from yesterday talking about competing for the starting job in Pittsburgh with Russell Wilson.
To be honest, I'm taking it day by day. I'm definitely, competing. I think, Russ knows that. We're competing against each other every day. Him being out there for me, that, helps me getting better. Us pushing each other. So, I definitely don't have the mindset of, me just, sitting all year. So, I'm coming in every day, giving it all I got, and, pushing him to be his best, and he's, pushing me to be my best each and every day. So, appreciate that.
Well, now, look, there's two kinds of backup quarterbacks. There's a backup quarterback who knows his role. He's there to support the starter. He's not a threat. It's the Peyton Manning backup his entire career.
Right.
I'm there to support Peyton Manning. Then there is the other type of backup, and I remember Matt Hasselbeck explaining this when he was the backup to Andrew Luck. I'm here to push him. I'm here to compete with him. Doesn't matter whether or not the competition is a real competition. I'm here. And Fields didn't take it beyond I'm here to compete. He didn't say, I intend to win the job. I intend to put the old man on the bench. I intend to be the starter week 1 in Atlanta. But when you look at all the circumstances, Mike Tomlin has said Russell Wilson is in the pole position, which is hardly anointing him as the quarterback all year long. They brought in Justin Fields. They didn't have to. They could have gone with a guy who was clearly going to be a backup to Russell Wilson. They're protecting themselves both against injury and ineffectiveness, and they're trying to win football games. They're going to go with the best guys at all positions that will allow them to win football games. There's no sacred cows. There's no one that's protected. No one's coddled. This is Mike Tomlin football. The best will play. And if you don't like it, get better.
Yeah, that's right. It is. It's Mike Tomlin. It's Pittsburgh football. Hey, Justin Fields, he's been saying the right things. He said the right things on the way out the door in Chicago, too. He's really been mature that way, and I respect him for that, and it looks like he's, becoming a real professional in all ways. And, yeah, he ain't taking a backseat to nobody. We're talking about a guy that is a freak of freaks when it comes to an athlete, a guy that could have played Major League Baseball, a guy that was the #1 recruit in the country and went to Georgia and then transferred, and he went to Ohio State, and he was still the man there, and they went to the national championship game. And, he expects to play. He ain't going out there just going to, like you said, going, well, I'm the backup. This is a legend in front of me. He's not looking at it that way. And, of course, with the way Russell Wilson's played the last few years, yeah, he's certainly not going to be anointed that way in Pittsburgh where, as we know, it's Pittsburgh now. They kind of weathered the storm the last few years. I think we're starting to, now we're going to start to see, wait, Pittsburgh was like that team that was, that got in the playoffs. I think we might be getting to a team in Pittsburgh where you start to go, now they're in the playoffs, and they actually might be able to make a run instead of you and me going, I hope they don't get in because they're going to get blown out in round 1, and it won't be a good game. The way the roster is set up now, they got a chance, and Tomlin knows that, and I think he's right to get Fields and protect himself, like you said.
Hey, even with Mason Rudolph last year, they made it interesting against Buffalo. They didn't get embarrassed.
That's
they
right.
lost, but they didn't get embarrassed in Buffalo in the wild card round. Fields will play this year. He will be on the field. That was one of the first reactions I had on that Saturday night in March when the news broke that Fields was being traded to Pittsburgh. They will get him out there in, if nothing else, a Cordell Stewart type of a role from 1995, his rookie year, the year they went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Dallas Cowboys. The next year, Neil O'Donnell went to the Jets. Cordell Stewart became the starter, and it was kind of up and down for him over the years. But in that role in 95, that was a kick in the butt for that offense. And I think we'll see Justin Fields
I don't doubt you.
in those roles. I think Arthur Smith, the new offensive coordinator, first order of business, let's start drawing up some plays where we can get both of these guys on the field at the same time. Let's make it work. Best 11 players are on the field.
Sure.
And 2 of them happen to be quarterbacks.
Sure.
We're going to make this go. So, yeah, it's all open for competition. It's open for business. And the Steelers are going to be better this year with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields replacing Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, and Mitch Trubisky as the quarterbacks.
Agreed. These guys are aggressive. They could throw the ball down the field. And, of course, Justin Fields is the best running quarterback in football right now. Let's not get that mixed up. And that's my question to you, Mr.
Well, Jaden Daniels might have an argument.
Well, he might, but I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet, but I know he's coming up the ranks. I know that for sure. You're right. But as it stands right now, I still go with Fields. And here, I'm going to ask you this, Mr. I live close to the Yinzers and all of that in Pittsburgh area there. right?
I am a Yinzer.
What you are? You're technically a Yinzer. I don't know.
I got a little bit of that.
Okay.
I got a little bit of that in my voice.
Okay.
I hear that from time to time.
Yeah,
People
okay.
say, I know you're from Pittsburgh or close to it.
Gotcha. Okay, you Yinzer then. All right. So what are the Yinzers gonna do? Right? The first time. What do you think that reaction's gonna be? Of hey, Russell Wilson's doing okay. He's been good in the first game or two in the preseason, and then Justin Fields. It's been, let's just say, hey, he's been okay too, but. Man, he ripped off. Did you see that 70-yard run he ran down the sideline and scored on? I mean, did you see that one play he broke 7 tackles and then found what's-his-face down the field for a big – like, to me, what do you think that reaction's going to be? Because he's the guy that's going to make the highlight plays that we're all going to talk about in the preseason. And he's going to be the one we're going, whoa, holy crap, right? And that, to me, is going to be, and it could be an issue. You tell me, Yinzer guy.
Well, I know they won't be chanting Fire Canada. They won't be chanting that. They'll be chanting something. And you make a great point. Those 3 preseason games, we see more and more now the starting quarterback is in bubble wrap. How much are we going to see Russell Wilson and Justin Fields in the preseason, and what will the compare and contrast be?
Right.
And you might see Russell Wilson against starting defense from opponent. Justin Fields running circles around backups from opponent in the preseason, creating a false reality, or not really false, but embellished reality of what it would be like in the regular season. We've already seen what it can be in the regular season with Justin Fields running the ball. You're right. They're going to have to tread lightly here. Now, the Steelers don't tend to be the type that bow to the chants. They tend to plug their ears and wear blinders and focus on what's in front of them. But look, it becomes very real. This laboratory experiment becomes very real when August rolls around. And if Fields is getting it done and Wilson isn't, the fans will demand Justin Fields.
Yeah, I would think so too. There's the aspect too, and you and I know this, and this doesn't always matter either, right? But the locker room aspect, Justin Fields being one of the guys, you've heard from a number of people. I know I have too. I mean, that's not Russell Wilson's forte. He's not exactly, one of the guys in the locker room where they're like, hey, let's hang, let's have a beer, let's do that. He's not that. Justin Fields, I think, is a little more of that guy to where, yeah, if he has success, I can see the locker room rallying around him quicker than Russell Wilson is what I'm saying. And I'm not saying you got to be that guy to be a great quarterback. We've seen nerds who aren't one of the guys, be great quarterbacks before. But, for this instance and this type of situation, there's some merit to that type of stuff. And, coaches gauge. I can still remember in 2004 when I was a backup quarterback to Brad Johnson and they were thinking about making the switch and bringing me in. One of the things they kept saying to me, and I kept having guys on the team say to me is, man, when you get on the field or when you get in the huddle, right, the coaches feel the energy change and all of that. And so there's something to that, and that's part of what gets gauged in this type of competition as well. And Tomlin certainly is a guy that listens to that type of stuff.
Well, and also it gives Mike Tomlin a chance to really scrutinize how these guys operate, what makes them tick, how they interact with media, how they interact with locker room, who can really be trusted to get the most out of their abilities and carry the team as far as they can. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.